Alright, so we're cleaning out Dino. So he's down there with the two females. And it's pretty chaotic with the two of them. So I'm going to try to pull a female out.
That's matcha. Oh no! Ah, no! It was a good attempt.
That's why I went so far. It's not going to be easy. You're not helping.
Oh my goodness, Dino. Oh my gosh.
You see her trying to kill this bird?
Oh yeah. Who is that? That's matcha still, right? Yeah.
No, other one.
Oh, that's Mochi?
Okay. Alright, so she's obviously very angry, very defensive, pretty much full wild alligator. I'm going to try to give her a piece of chicken. Probably won't like it. Probably just be angry. But you remember that's how we do it, is you pull them out and they're all angry and throw it in the mouth and they're like, ah! Oh! It's like my catchphrase for this. But sometimes it works. All right, it's the first time I've ever seen Dino try to stand up with that back leg. But you're not gonna make it too far, dude. Yeah, it's too steep. You gotta go the other way. But yeah, that was pretty cool. First time he's used that back leg, actually. Doing some gator detailing here. Get all that algae off of him. The algae doesn't hurt him. But I think they look better without it. Okay guys, so the number one question we get all day, what's your closest call? And I hate that question. It is so annoying. It is so like, it's just so reductive of all the work that I do and saving animals and working with animals, having an entire animal sanctuary and everybody's favorite, what's your closest call, as if I am nothing more than amusement to be eaten and a gladiatorial competition. Like that's how it feels, you know? And like, I hate that question. And then I just had probably the closest call I've ever had. Like, not even kidding. We're in here cleaning and I was cleaning the walls and I'm up on that wall right there and he's just chilling and he's fine. You know, he's fine. And I'm up here cleaning up on this edge and I slipped. And I slipped and I fell backwards and then so if I'm upright, and this is a perfect example, I talk about this all the time. If I'm upright and I'm fine, he's fine. He's not gonna try to attack me. You know, once they know I'm not a threat, I'm not gonna hurt him. You know, a brand new wild one tries to kill you, of course, it's scary. Once he knows I'm not gonna hurt him, and we're doing this, like, he's not gonna attack me, he's fine, I'm right next to him, you know, he's not gonna try me. But if they know you are compromised in any way, they will try to take you. And so I was up there, and I'm cleaning and I slipped, and as soon as I slipped, he was facing the other direction, spun right around, I fell backwards, sliding down on this, his jaws come around wide open, and I'm literally like, I'm all scuffed up here, 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 and I like I don't even know how what did I even do? This Garrett's holding the camera, it's his first day volunteering here.
You turned and like got on your knee and like slid towards him, and as his head swung this way, you rolled over his back and barely missed his jaws.
Like matrixed over him, like over his jaw. He would have got me right across the midsection. He would have literally killed me if he grabbed me here. Like, your guts are coming out this side and this side. It ain't gonna be pretty. Yeah. Like, it's literally gonna crush your guts out of you. And yeah, I like literally like matrixed up out of it and like right over his jaws as he swung to try to get me. Like, insane. That was like the closest call. I mean, I've had like close calls of like, you know, them almost like getting your hand, but like that would have got like it would have been the end. Like, that was so bad, all because I slipped trying to clean in here, you know. And look at him now, he doesn't care. Like, he's totally fine now, you know. Well, if they know you're compromised like that, that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna try to get you, you know. And that's what I talk about all the time. Like, I love them, they don't love me. I say it all, I need to put that on a shirt. They're trained, they're not tame. These are like my catchphrases, but I say them all the time because I need people to understand, like, you slip up like that, he's gonna try to get you and he will end you. And like, that was a perfect example of that. Like, he's fine now. Come right over with him. Hi, buddy. Literally pet him on the head. He doesn't care, you know, but if he sees you're compromised, there's no love between you anymore. He doesn't care that you're the guy that feeds him and takes care of him, literally nursed him back from the brink of death. He doesn't care. You fall down, your food. All right, so we're gonna pull out Cheesecake again. So close. She's so close to not doing the roll. She's so bad about the roll. Okay.
Yeah, if you want to go, I'll try to distract her from the front. She's on you. She doesn't care about me.
Because she knows. And she's so small, so I have to try to be nice. I can't just, I mean I can, but I don't want to just slam her, you know? And of course the audience watching. Rick, hey! Hi, Rick! We gonna go take care of the animals, Rick? Yeah. I don't know if she's gonna talk. She's eating an almond right now. But we have a nice little cooling blanket somebody sent that she's sitting on right now. You like that? And I have the ice pack underneath her because it is hot out today, guys. Hello! What you think, Rick? What do you think, Rick? What's up? What do you think? Hello? Hi, baby. Hi, Rick. No talking? No talking when your mouth is full? You got good manners? Checking on the baby gator area. And here is little Stevie hanging out right there. And Patches is usually over here a little more. Let's see. Yep, there she is. That's a reflection of the fence. There's not a fence in the water. In case anybody's like, oh, she's one under the fence. Got the lily pads growing. Got some frogs. And here's Harvey out this morning. Hi, Harv. How you feeling, buddy? Oh, look at Poppy drinking. Okay, so I just put down new food for the emus and their little feeder system right here. So fill this thing up and they got food to eat all day. Keeps it nice and dry. We had some questions about emu identification. Who is who? How do you tell them apart? So they're not easy. And in here, honestly, it's hard because the lighting is either like nuclear sunlight over there or super shady. So it's kind of hard to even see them on the camera, at least. You know, in person it's not that bad, but as far as the quality of the camera goes. So this one, who are you? That's Echo. And then this is Pebbles. Pebbles is the one that bites. And then we got Ozzy right there. And then we got Summer down over there. And Summer has a lot more blue on her neck. Ozzy's got the super bright eyes. Pebbles here looks like Pebbles. Now he's got a lot of blue on his face, but also a lot of black. His face and Ozzy's face look really similar, except Ozzy has the super bright eyes. And then, yeah, I think Summer has the most blue without any black. And then Echo is chasing Summer right now. They're so goofy. But yeah, they are hard to tell apart, not gonna lie. Ozzy's probably the easiest to identify. He has those super bright eyes, and then look at him. He was also our most recent one that was injured, and so you can see he's got new feather growth coming in. That black spot on his side is all new feathers growing in. And then he used to have a limp, but he doesn't have that anymore. Now we're taking a little walk, check the perimeter fence after the storm last night. Clover out in front. There's Ocala. The dogs love going for a walk through the forest. They get all excited. So far, so good though. Nothing damaged or anything like that. That's what you're worried about. The old log falling on the fence. And prairie dog time. Oh, Poppy. Trying to climb me, Poppy. Go have some food, bud. You with your fur pants. And then there's Harv over there. So he's doing okay. He's not interested in the food, but he did take his medicine and syringe feeding him the critical care this morning. So Gabby did that, so he did have that. He's not really interested in the regular food though, unfortunately, but he does love the critical care formula, so that's a good thing, you know. And you know, just like I said, the plan is just let him hang out here with his friends. Yeah, it's just super sad, you know. He's got a limited amount of time left with us, and so we'll just let him hang out with his friends and have a good last couple days, maybe a couple weeks. We'll see what we get. You know, we don't have anything set in stone yet, but we're just gonna try to give him some time, and when things start to take a turn, you know, we'll call the vet, and sadly, you know, that'll be it. But in the meantime, just try to let him spend some time with his friends first. But we got Cheeky. Oh, there she goes. So, not to make it all depressing, but prairie dogs, interesting. Remember this, a couple days ago, you could see the rim of it. This was a giant crater with a big hole right here that they were all going down. And then boom, one day just gone. And then now it's this over here. And it's just like, they are so industrious. It is crazy. And just how quickly, you know, they're able to do all this. You want that? Maybe, you know? And then, you know, the big one I'm always asked about the prairie dogs, how come they can't just dig out? Obviously, we would not build an enclosure that would allow them to do that. So it is wired straight down to a cattle trough in the ground that is metal. And then that is also, has a lot of drainage rock on the bottom and then holes below that to allow water out. So no, they would not be flooded out. That's never happened. They can't dig out and they cannot be flooded. Yeah, so, which I think most people, you know, ask in a nice way, but like you wouldn't believe how many comments are asked in a not nice way. Why would you put them in there when they're just going to dig out? Like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I've never had animals before. I definitely didn't know that I would have to build it like, come on, give me a little bit of credit here, guys. Again, most people say it in a nice way. You know, they're genuinely asking, but like, man, there are some people who write some very, accusational comments about it. It's just like, guys, it's not rocket science. You make it so they can't get out, you know? All right, let's feed the koalas. Coco and Gigi there. Blanco and Crystal. Lola over here. And Lily. There we go. And here's Lily. Enjoying some cantaloupe. So they've got cantaloupe, banana, bean sprouts, an egg, some monkey biscuits, leaf eater biscuits, and I'm not sure what some of the other stuff is. We had Chef Gabby and Aaron working on all the meals today. And here are the Patagonia and Maras, Timothy and Topanga. So they're a large rodent species native to Argentina. Giant guinea pig with stilt legs. Can I pet you? Oh. Oh wow, look at that. Huh. That's pretty good for her. That was more contact than you usually get out of her. Yeah. Nope. Now she's over it. Hi, baby. And here's Yue. Oh my goodness, Hazel. Well, anyways, here's Yue. And then Kira down inside the log. Beaver enclosure construction going on back there. And here is Miss Hazel. I call you Witch Hazel. Screaming like a banshee, climbing the walls. And then Shippo up there. And then here is little dude, our African crested porcupine. Although you can really hear the construction stuff is going on pretty loud. Building the beaver enclosure. Little dude doesn't seem to mind though. Look at those crows. Hi, Chloe. Hi, Chloe. Oh, come here. There you go. Free little taxi ride. There you go. Got her food. Cupid is over here. We got Mr. Olaf. Azula trying to bite me. Hi, Azula. Oi. Oi. Hi, Azula. Hi.
Hi.
And then we got Bluebird and Suki. Petrie. There you go. Petrie. Petrie. Zazu did not want to fly over for food. He's being very aggressive. Yeah. Why are you being like this, huh? Yeah. Why are you being territorial, huh? Is it spring? What are you doing, Zazu? You're being a bad bird. You're not listening. So if you remember, Zazu will usually fly over, land on my arm, and take a worm. But it's also a little sketch ball, so today he doesn't want to play. And here's Jelly Bean, but he's in the doorway again. So we're not going to do the blueberry dance today. Yeah. You be a little piggy and just eat everything? No dancing? Yeah. He's looking around. He's looking for a place to go. What? What do you think, huh? What you think, Jelly Bean? There's worms in there. You want a worm? He's looking at him. Oh, what are those, huh? What are those? No, not today. Now we're in the small parrot aviary. All the little guys. Very excited today. Here's the quail. Got our little quail on the bottom. So they lay all the little eggs. Give them to the foxes. Very busy budgies and cockatiels. Everybody's very excited. They're so cute though. We got one guy at the salad bar. We got Tango over here. So we have 2 salad plates for him. Here's a big old yellow rat snake.
He's not a nice one.
He's not nice.
All the other ones that we found have been so nice. Are you bleeding? I'm bleeding.
He's non-venomous, so obviously it's not like I really care, but
all the other ones have been nice. This is so
this one is
disappointing.
very not nice.
He's so mean.
Good size one too.
Beautiful.
Look
Why does he want to bite you?
He is a nippy one.
We can go relocate him by the beaver pond. He's so mean.
Very not friendly one.
Should we give him an egg and put him down?
An egg for your troubles, sir.
An egg for his troubles. I can go get him a chicken egg.
I would just let him go. Let him go on his way.
It's a big one.
Here's Harvey getting, what are you giving him?
It's basically critical care, except you need a prescription for it. It's called Emerade.
He loves it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, he needs like 20 cc's a day. But usually he stops after like 6. We're on like 7 right now, so that's really good. Just keep giving it to him. Usually you would use a 3 cc syringe, but he likes the 1 cc better because it can fit in his mouth more easily, so he'll like actually hold on to it. But normally I would recommend using a bigger syringe. Look at him. He really likes it, so I'm gonna see if he'll take this whole thing. And he was eating some grass too, which is good. Go fly on you, Harv. Oh, that's it. No, Harv. Finish this. Harvey, come here. Harvey, finish that. The other prairie dogs want it too.
And here's the turtle ponds. We have all of our aquatic turtles chowing down over here. There's Waffles. If you guys remember, Waffles is one of our more special needs turtles that came in with a super flattened shell. It looks kind of like a waffle. But he's doing way better. He's much bigger than he was. So he's doing pretty good. Okay, pigs. Easy. Sit. Sit. There you go. You're being crazy. Little piggies are over there. You were just all the trouble, you know. Daisy is never any trouble. She's always sweet and always nice and always polite. You. She's gonna start thinking that's her name. Every time I'm coming in here, man, Julie is about to knock me over, like biting at my feet. Like, it's crazy. But that's why, you know, we make her sit like that to be able to get the food. Making them sit and doing this training with them really helps a lot. Oh, I know. I know. There you go. Here are the little piggies. Got Wilbur here, got Molly here, got Amy, and we got Puddles back there. There's a big pig. Look at this big pig, Amy. I'm getting huge. Yeah, you're big. Look at these ears. Oh, hello. You want some tail? You're just gonna throw it everywhere, yeah? Not actually eat any of it. Okay. Ow. So Gabby and I finished all of our animal care for the day, so now we're just going out into the forest, and we have a cool little lake that we like to go walk around and look for snakes at. So that's what we're doing now. Have a nice little walk, get away, relax a little bit. Check out this big, beautiful magnolia flower. These things are huge, the size of that. Check out this huge larva exoskeleton. I think that's one of the giant dragonflies, it looks like. So in their larval form, they're aquatic, and then this is the exoskeleton after they hatch out, and then now they're out there flying around. Pretty cool though. I'm pretty sure this is one of the really big ones. Okay, so this guy looks like a giant wasp, but it's actually a sphinx moth. I'm not sure what the species is called exactly, but it's totally a moth that is mimicking a large wasp or bee. Oh, and it's gone. Oh, there it is. They're so fast though. Really hard to get on camera, but there it went. They're really cool though. Look how cool this stump is. It's like, it's all layered in like this. It's like really cool. Big, thick flakes. Totally like an ASMR thing of just like breaking them all. Not that, well, I don't want to break them, but I totally see people like that storm we had the other night flipped this tree, so the whole root structure went up against the bank right here. It's pretty cool, taller than I am. So check that out. This is a shard from a Native American making a tool thousands of years ago. Pretty darn cool. So they would have camps along bodies of water like this, and yeah, they would make arrowheads and knives and tools. So, and then these are the eggs of a native apple snail. So those will hatch out and turn into a snail. Well, a snail's like not this big, like this big, you know, the round part. Yeah, and those snails are eaten by the snail kite, which only eats aquatic snails. Really cool. Here's a turtle that didn't make it. So it looks like a little mud turtle. Whoop, almost dropped it. No idea what happened to it. Look how cool some of these old logs are. This cool pattern. Some of these are massive too. So a lot of people don't know that 90% of Florida was logged. So, like, you gotta keep in mind, like, look at the size of that thing. Like, a tree that was that big I mean, it would have been hundreds of years old. And so not over 90% of the state of Florida was logged. Oh, some snacks. Nice. Oh no, I already got one. Anyways, I was trying to make a good point, but gotta have a little snack. But anyways, what I was saying, 90% of the state was logged. And so even in like protected areas and whatnot, what you're seeing, what you might perceive as like a beautiful, pristine forest is in fact not. It's all regrowth, it's all secondary, or almost all of it. I mean, obviously there are some areas that are, you know, the original forest, but they're a lot more uncommon than what you would think. And so the majority of the forests that you see have already been cut down and regrown. And so this really comes to the concept of shifting baselines, which is something I talk about like all the time, where what we perceive as being normal is only normal because we have such incredibly short, like insignificant little human lifespans. And so we don't have any like good idea of what it actually, you know, means. Speaking of, look, there's a Native American piece right there from somebody making a tool. Pretty cool. So they saw the original beautiful pristine forest, but yeah, I mean, giant, huge trees like this, I mean, they're just not really around anymore hardly. And they won't be, because something like that takes hundreds of years to grow. But yeah, so the whole shifting baseline thing, there's too many distractions, too many cool stuff I keep on looking at. But yeah, the whole shifting baselines thing just talks about how, you know, our perception of what would be normal is flawed because we have such short, tiny lifespans. But, you know, humans are so egocentric that we just think that whatever we see is the norm, not realizing that we're living in a world that works on millennia, not our tiny little lifespans. So anyways, the point being, for most people, what they would perceive as being like some beautiful, pristine forest is in fact something that's already been logged, cut down, and is secondary growth, and honestly like just a shadow of what it should have been. But we're gonna think it's awesome because, you know, that's how we're conditioned, because that's all we've ever known. But if you could go like in a time machine and go back, you know, a couple thousand years and see the original forest in Florida, it would look totally different from what you see today, you know? So what we see today is just like a shadow of what once existed. And it's just really sad because you don't know any better because you can't see it because it happened, you know, 1,000 years ago. Well, I mean, the deforestation happened sooner than that. But either way, like the idea that like you don't know what you're missing. And so that same concept applies to so many topics in biology. Like the bugs on the windshield one is a big one, where like now for young people, like they don't know what it's like to have millions of bugs smashing on your windshield when you do a long drive, because there's not millions of bugs anymore. There's a fish that got snatched by an osprey. You hear the osprey calling. But yeah, so that the bugs on the windshield thing is a really interesting one, because it's one that like we're seeing from older people, how many bugs they used to have on their windshield, which is sad. Like our metric is the dying of other creatures onto our vehicles as an inconvenience. Like it's just a messed up way to look at it. But it is one that like does work and does like show you just what a huge loss of life, you know, there has been for these bugs to not be showing up like what they used to. And it's just crazy, you know, with the fish. That's another big one to talk about a lot, is with fish, where like if you look at, you know, fish catches in an area like 100 years ago, and you looked at like what a normal day of fish catches for them was like, what a normal day was, it would be like the best day ever for somebody today. And that like size of like their best catches has just fallen so dramatically. And it just, you know, again, emphasizes like the loss of life. But again, it becomes like normal. Another piece from Native Americans. But yeah, it just becomes like normalized. And it's just like really sad and messed up to understand and realize that that is happening. And like, we don't even know it because our lifespans are so short. I'm just totally crouching, going underneath this big giant tree hanging over the water here. Really cool. But yeah, I feel like I'm doing a really terrible job. It's a hard topic to like really try to properly explain, especially when I'm walking around and seeing all kinds of cool stuff all the time. And I'm, oh, look at this. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at this, you know? But yeah, you should totally look more into it and find somebody who does a better job explaining than I did, because it's a really important biological concept to try to understand. And just that, like, we don't recognize the amount of loss that occurs because we have such short lives. And it's really hard for people to like grasp that and understand that, you know? And especially now that we're doing, well, one of the ones I really, look how pretty it is out here. One of the ones I really like to talk about is the difference of like, the Endangered Species Act was passed in 1973, and so a lot of you know, wildlife conservation efforts were done within that time frame. And so just now we're starting to see some of the repercussions of species rebounding from those conservation acts done in the 70s. So for some young people, when, you know, they were growing up in like the 80s, well, young people, I'm one of those, you know, I was born in the late 80s. And so if you're one of those people, when you were growing up, there was X amount of animals. Now that amount of animals wouldn't have reflected the conservation efforts yet. So the amount of animals that you saw if you were young in the 80s would be like, let's just say for the sake of argument, like 90% lower of the population than what there naturally should be. And then now we fast forward to today, and those conservation efforts are finally starting to like bear fruit, and we're seeing the increase of population for some of these animals. Then you're like, oh wow, there's more now than there's ever been, not realizing that the population just went from a 90% decrease to now it's like 75% lower than what it should have been without humans being here. And so this is a problem where people are like, oh, there's more now than ever, so we should feel justified in being able to kill them because now there's more than ever, which is obviously so wrong. You know, we want to go back to what the natural population should be, not what it was when it was at its lowest, when people were, you know, in their childhood. So that's what just kind of really skews this whole perspective of what should be seen as normal or not, you know? So people can be like, oh, aren't you worried about gators? You're walking in the water. Yeah, there's one right there. That's a good sized one too. He's probably at 9-10 foot, and he's totally watching me. But again, you know, this is like, I work with animals, I work with alligators, have for 20 years, I know how to handle them, I know what to watch for, and I see this guy's kind of following me, he's checking me out, but he's a good distance away. I don't think he's going to do anything. But if he does, obviously I'm watching for him, and I literally have caught hundreds, if not thousands, of wild alligators, so I got this. But this is one of those ones where I tell people, like, I have a certain skill set. Don't do what I'm doing. Okay? But he's like, but you always say don't do that. Why are you doing it? Because I have a skill set you don't have. Because I've been doing this my entire life. I've been catching alligators for over 20 years. So again, I am doing things that I do not recommend others to do because I know what I am doing. People always get really mad about that, but you know, it is what it is. He's totally looking at me. Let's see if he gets any closer. Not that you can see it, but there is a manatee right there. Popped up for a second, but now it's under, so can't see it. Back by the truck, and this poor armadillo looks like it got hit by a car or something, but you see the skull? It's cool. I mean, it's sad, obviously, but it is cool to be able to see the armor on them. And so those little pieces right there, I mean, I find fossilized versions of those from the Liptodon, which was like an armadillo the size of like a car. Really cool. I mean, obviously this is really sad, but it's interesting to be able to see that, you know, and how similar it is to the fossilized version that I find today that are like this big around. Yeah, I mean, like comparatively, you know, like I've got some big Liptodon fossils that I found. Literally just pulled the truck in. This chicken, we call this one Muffin, and she sleeps on top of the tire every night right there. And it's not even late yet, but I mean, the sun is starting to go down, the chickens are starting to roost, and as soon as I park, I didn't even get out of the truck and she's already back up there. Like, that is her spot where she sleeps. It's so funny. And here is Chunk Skunk. Hi, Asami. So her real name is Asami. People think her name is Chunk Skunk. That's just what I call her. But her real name is Asami. And she's got some super worms in there she's very excited about. She's got super worms and cantaloupe, green beans, peppers, mushrooms, freeze-dried raw chicken, some sprouts, banana, and the super worms. So as we move, into summer and it's a lot hotter, even at night, it's still pretty hot out here. You notice she's nowhere near as playful. So that is sad. She's really, really playful when it's cold out and it's cool, But yeah, in the summer, she's not anywhere near as playful. She's just all business now, all about the food. She's loving that pepper though. Now we're feeding these fennec foxes. So there is Sierra over there, being a crazy little thing. And then Jet, there he is. So he's mainly inside the log. Get her. Go get your own food. Jet, come on, man. You gotta try a little harder, buddy. Hello. You take your medicine? O's a good boy. There you go. Good boy, Olaf. So he's getting his nighttime meds. So Olaf has cardiac issues, so he has to get 4 different kinds of meds every single day. And this one is a twice a day one, so morning and night. But Gabby usually does it, so you don't see it often. Check it out, guys. There is the spadefoot toad that lives in the owl's lockout. That's crazy. I haven't seen that thing in weeks, and that burrow was covered up with leaves. So I don't know if it was just down there, I don't know, like estivating or something, sleeping. I'm not sure, but like that burrow definitely has not been used in weeks, unless it left and then came back and decided to reuse the same burrow. But yeah, that's weird. I was seeing that little spadefoot toad every night for a while, and then just disappeared, and now it's back. And here is Calusa. So she's actually watching the dogs. They're over there. What you sniffing, Ocala? Yeah, so she's watching them right now. But yeah, it's already pretty late, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and give her mice, give her eye drops, and we'll end the video. Thanks for watching.